Hi everyone, it's Danny again, and I am currently at Gilford Pinchot Park in York County, Pennsylvania. Now, as you can see here, lake looks a little funny. Well, that's because they drained it recently. It was recently drained for fear of flooding due to a snowstorm we had a couple days ago. I didn't get a chance to film it earlier, so I came back out here on a Sunday to do it. Now, we just have the time change, so the current time is not after 11, but by DST it'll be about a little after. Sorry for the wind. As you can see, the tree stumps in the ground level there, they're kind of hard to see, but there's a couple of tree stumps out here that just sit out here in the lake. Now this I found out just a few moments ago from a local. This is actually the way the lake used to look back in the 1960s. They then allowed the lake to flood up to its current position over the last 20 years, little by little. It was in 1970 they decided to allow the lake to go up a whole 2 feet. So what you see where the trees are down the very farthest end is the first trees that got cut off, which is why they look more like rocks than stumps. The second level of trees are the ones that are closer to the camera, and it's kind of hard for me to walk out here because it's really muddy, but I'm going to see if I can walk a little bit further. Yeah, right there, the second one's up. If you imagine a line going across, see where that green building is over there? The first one, not the second one. Just imagine a straight line across and like an oval shape, and you'll get the next line of trees. The ones that look newer, not that one, but those further in the middle, that was actually the way the lake looked in the 1980s. And then in the early 90s, the ones that are newest here, they allowed the lake to flood all the way up to this point. And it turns out in 2006, 2006 they allowed the lake to flood all the way up to where it is currently. There are plans to actually limit the amount that the lake's going to be draining so that they can go back to the original way it was in the 60s and 70s. But every summer they allow it to get a little higher, it seems, by 1 or 2 inches, so that people can have water for recreational purposes. Now, what I understand is they let all the water drain out, not only for flooding, but also to kill off some of the vegetation, so that next summer it won't be crowded with algae. Anyway, that's just a special little report I brought to you about how they're taking care of recreational parks and how they're letting trees and things die. Oh, there goes some fallen leaves. Well, you definitely know it's November. All right, bye. Hi again, it's me back at Gilford Pinchot Park, and where I'm standing right now, more than 40 years ago, actually used to be a bunch of fields. Now, it doesn't look like it used to be a field at all. This is another one of those lost history moments. This actually used to be a production farm, as you can see by the pioneering species of cedars there, and by some of the other smaller pioneering plants that are still around today. They've made really good work of the woodlands. And again, this is like the middle of November, so I get out here and get to see a much broader view. Now, just beyond these trees here is the lake. You can't see it in the camera very well, but trust me, it's there. And back this way, of course, is a trail. But yeah, over 30 years ago, plus, this whole area used to be nothing but a field. And it was a production field used mostly for corn, for cattle. So, it's a little bit more of America's lost history for you folks. I'm going to go ahead here and see if I can find the old ski lodge thingy. Don't think I'll be able to find it today. It's kind of up on a rock, but if I can't find it today, just know in the future I will make a video for it. Alright, peace out. Hey everyone, it's me again. This is the place I was talking about. This is actually on Toboggan Run Hill, and where I'm actually standing right now, I don't know how well you can see it in the camera, this used to actually be a toboggan run. There used to be a building over here, and there used to be actually, well, this is the opening chute where they pour water and freeze it, but there actually used to be 2, as you can see here from the ruins, there used to be 2 toboggan slides. One curves to the left further down, one curves to the right. There also used to be, where these rocks all are, they built a small hutch So here was the original building. It's gone, it's long gone now. These are the pathway that went down to the hutch where you can get warm. This building that used to stand here was later combined with the hutch and it's an enclosed enclosure so that people could easily walk back and forth. Unfortunately, as you can see, these are the remnants. All that remains of the toboggan run. Period. The cement blocks. The track was taken out in the 80s. The toboggan run and ski run, which I will show in just a second what's left of that, they were incorporated in the early 1950s when they were built. They weren't open until 1963, and it lasted 4 years and shut down officially in 1969. The toboggan run was shut down a little after 1966, so a little less than 50 years ago from 2011. Here, it doesn't really look like it, but there is the Bunny Hill, right about here. This is the Bunny Hill. If you actually follow this all the way around, you can actually walk the whole trail that used to be part of the Bunny Hill. Again, this is like 50 years ago. The forest has literally reclaimed everything. This is the original pathway up the hill. This is the extreme sledding, but not anything else. It's actually this hill right here. Most people don't tell you this, and you can't find it much in the history books, but I had to do a lot of digging. This pathway they use right now to get up to Toboggan Run Rocks is actually the original sled hill. And if you follow it all the way down, if you ignore the rocks, because they moved a lot of rocks when they destroyed the buildings and took up the tracks, this used to be a straight path all the way down to the bottom. And like I said, this up here used to be, there used to be a ski lodge right there, along with the Toboggan Run Lodge, and this was part of the Bunny Hill. Now, obviously they've modified it a little to allow bike passages, but it used to actually be the beginning of the hill. Over here where these rocks are, according to one history resource I found, this actually used to be part of, and you don't see any remnants of it, but this actually used to be where the warm building is. You had one for the toboggan run and you had one for the skiers. Actually, this little path here will take you up and around the original area, but I'm not going to walk it because my battery is about to die. Instead, I'm going to take the gravel path back, which has all these wonderful signs about it. But this is now called the gravel path, and that's called the Pinchot Trail. But again, that's just a little bit of America's lost history. I hope you enjoy. I'm going to start trying to do more of these. I may not get as many as other people, but I want to make sure that people know that some of the history I found and want to share it with the world. So that's it. And again, this is Danny out from York, Pennsylvania.